Hi, this is Dr. Scott, and this is my mini lecture video or overview for Module 2. So as always, in the introduction for Module 2, it's going to give you a list of what is expected of you this week. One is to read the Rhetorical Modes Overview document, which I will show you in a moment. Complete the reading assignment and view all Blackboard materials. And complete the grammar exercises using Chapter 25 and 26 of the textbook. Notice that it says exercises, meaning that you will have two different exercises that you are responsible for this week. So there actually is no writing assignment or discussion board this week. You just have two grammar assignments. As part of the Blackboard materials, you'll notice that I included some lecture notes here, talking about subjects and predicates and how both of them are required to create a complete sentence or complete thought. And I have some examples of sentences that might be missing a subject or a predicate, and those would be sentence fragments or incomplete sentences. I also have a video about subjects, predicates, and simple sentences. Notice that I let you know to skip the first 20 seconds. That is because I made the video last semester, and the first 20 seconds talk about things or assignments or discussion boards that are no longer applicable to you. So just skip the first 20 seconds, and the rest of it should be applicable to what we're doing this week. I also added some additional notes that might be helpful because I looked over your subjects and predicates quiz, and it is going to ask you not only to identify subjects and predicates, but it will be asking you about simple subjects and simple predicates. So just remember that a simple subject is only going to be one word, and a simple predicate is only going to be one word. So, although a subject or predicate could be made up of multiple words, a predicate could be an entire phrase, like in I love swimming in the ocean. The predicate is swimming in the ocean, but the simple predicate would just be the word swimming, so the main verb in that predicate phrase. This is all things that are likely to be in your reading for this week, but I just wanted to throw that out here to let you know that it is going to be important when it comes to taking the quiz over subjects, predicates, and what's going to be asked of you this week. I also included a good video I found on YouTube about the 8 parts of speech. Since you have a quiz over parts of speech this week, I would go over that. And then we are going to look at the rhetorical modes. Rhetorical modes are just a fancy way of saying types of writing or different purposes of writing. So, for instance, the rhetorical mode of description, you are just describing something, describing an event, a place, an object. Narration is when you are telling a story. Examples are what they sound like, is when you are giving examples using um, different anecdotes, or you're giving specific details to support an idea using examples to convince or persuade someone. And you can go through the different types of rhetorical modes. This semester, we mostly will have to focus on things like compare and contrast, which is when you are taking two items or two subjects and explaining how they are alike and different. Sometimes we will do this in order to persuade or convince someone to choose one over the other. For instance, you may be asked later in the semester to write a compare and contrast essay about two different products. For instance, we might do Tide laundry detergent versus Gain, and so then you would be comparing and contrasting the ways they are different, the ways they are alike, and then in the end, convincing the reader which one would be the better option for them. So, comparing and contrasting, you're just comparing how they're alike and explaining how they're different. Division and classification would be taking a broad subject and then breaking it into subcategories. So, for instance, if my category, my broad concept was dogs, and then I was writing an essay breaking it into the main types or subsections or subcategories of dogs. And that's a very simple example. But just anytime you're taking a broad idea and then breaking it into specific categories, that's going to be considered division classification. And then cause and effect would be when you are writing about an event that has happened and the things that have caused it. So, for instance, what has caused an increase in peanut allergies in children, or what are the effects of screen time on adolescents. So, anytime you are writing about things that you are saying cause something else to occur, that would be cause and effect. And you can read more about those in this handout. So, again, your only job this week is to one, read through the rhetorical modes because you will be asked throughout the semester to write based on a different writing mode or rhetorical mode. And when that gets brought up, that is what we are talking about. And you can refer back to that handout as we go through the semester. And then, secondly, you are completing 2 grammar exercises or quizzes, one over subjects and predicates, and one over parts of speech. And again, I have different resources and examples for you through here. If you want to check those out, it will be helpful to you. And I believe you also can retake the quizzes. If you do not do well the first time, you do get a second attempt. If you ever need more than a second attempt, you will have to reach out to me via email and let me know, and I would have to unlock that for you. So let me know if you have any questions this week, have any issues with the quizzes. My email is jessicascott@trcc.edu.